Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special Generation 1 figure showcase and review, we're going to be looking at, to be honest, the really impressive. This is the Action Master Gutcruncher and his stratotronic jet. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at all of the things that you can do with this. We're going to see all the different modes. I'm going to just, switch it between them all during the video. I'm going to show you the packaging, and of course we're going to have a look at how he sizes up compared to some other Action Master figures and some figures of today as well. Now before we get started, I just remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if I would hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. And also this is for subscriber Darren. I really hope I do this figure some justice for you, pal. Let's start off with looking at the box then. So the box it's nice, to be fair. It's a nice big box. I think people don't realize just how big this particular set is. So I know these guys got a lot of hate, but to be honest, I've had a play around with this, and again, I've just not fell in love with it, but I just think it's very, very clever for what it is. You can see there we've got like a powered up base, we've got a mini tank. There's so many things that you can do with this. There is the 1990 artwork, which is of course the Action Masters, Megatron and Optimus Prime, etc. We've also got the tech spec there, and there is actual Gutcruncher himself. Again, it always brings up the good topics of I wonder what he would have transformed into if he'd have been a transformer himself. I'm guessing perhaps a tank, because that looks more like a turret to me. Right, so let's move this box out of the way and let's move the jet in. So this is the jet. We're going to come back to this in a second being like this, but I am going to just show you, I suppose, just how big it is. As I say, it's huge. You can see I've got a missing link prime sneaking in at the side, so let's just put him over the top. That's just to give you an idea, I suppose, of size. You can see it's massive. This really is a very, very big toy indeed. So there you go, there it is compared to a pretty large Voyager class jet in Starscream. Now what I want to do again, because it's a vintage toy, I want to point out things that you need to be aware of. I also want to point out how many parts and how many accessories go into him to make him complete. So let's start off with taking this off the back like so. This should unclip. There we go. So what I've done then is I knocked this off by accident, and then I knocked the gun off. I was trying to pull the whole tank bit out, which is attached just there via that tab. He was proper stuck in, wasn't it? Right, so let's take all of these parts off, take it all down completely, take the nose cone off. We can take the seat out if you wanted to as well. You can then take every single one of these guns, blasters, etc., whatever you want to call them. You can take all of these off. And again, because it's an Action Master, and I was talking about this in the live stream literally last night, this just reminds me of something like from Mask, because of all of the accessories. And of course at the time G.I. Joe, or Action Forces it was in the UK, was selling very, very well. So this is basically what they did. They gave us Action Force figures and they had the bases transform. So I suppose it made it quite interesting. Whilst I was having to play around as well, I also realized that I could do something silly like this, which, let's be honest, lots of the Action Master weapons were in fact exactly like this, completely over the top, way too big, and just too big for him to handle. That's not supposed to be there. That is just me, as I say, messing around. So what we've got first and foremost is we do have a little tank all by itself. You've got a choice, I suppose, of weapons, but you can keep that on the front like it was in the one particular mode, and again you can then sit him inside like so, and he can of course drive around the tank, which is pretty cool. So I'm just going to pop that there. There was then an option as well to make a drone, which is again using this. What we would then do is take these, which of course I just pulled off. Really, it was so stiff, it really was difficult to try and get it off. That is going to go there like so, and then we've got a choice of, I suppose, weapons, bullets, accessories, which can go on exactly like this. Things to be aware of, guys, is I've seen ones of these sold with, unfortunately, that's what I was panicking about then. I thought I'd snapped one of the tabs off inside the plastic, but as you can see I got away with it. So they're calling this an actual drone, and again, that's just an extra little play feature. The instructions, actually, let's show you here, are pretty good. We're going to go to this mini sort of base, whatever it is now. it's again, you can let me know in the comments what you think it is, what it's called. That is what I've done so far. I've just took everything off, and again, as I say, I will be building it back up in a second. Yep, that's what I've done. There's the drone, and there we go. Let's start to build up this base then. So let me make sure I get this right. So these remind me a bit of, the Generation 1 Optimus Prime trailer, which will bring this out. This is now going to separate. These are going to rotate around like so. Let's rotate these around like that. Then this, if you grab hold of pretty tight, give it a little lift up and pull it out. There indeed is the large blaster, and then you can line them up into that tab there like so. And then you've got this sort of base, so from this side you can see it looks pretty much exactly like a base. Now let's make sure very quickly, even though I can't tell. Oh, I was just going to bring this in just to make sure that I'm doing it 100% right, because there's a few configurations what we can do with this. So the first and foremost one is, again, you've got ports, holes, etc. Loads of ways that we can, of course, attach these. You can, again, put the seat in. That's, of course, where the tank was, so you can actually sit and pilot it. We can pop these here at the back, like so. 1 and 2 there, and angle them. Have I missed it? There we go. Angle them out. Then again, you've got these, which you can pop at the front. And again, like so, you can mess around with these, have them pointing, have them aiming anywhere that you want. Obviously, you can't do that if you've attached them to here. So let's take this off as well. And there's also, I'm pretty sure you can attach the bullets, the thing from the tank. Let me just have a very quick look where it's saying, nope, you don't. So you keep the tank and then you keep this like so. That looks pretty impressive. Come on, guys, I think it does. I've got a few other Action Masters here which are okay, and they're going to fit inside this play set. I think the problem where Action Masters lost any sort of, well, this is what I'm going to show you. This is what any sense of, I don't know, you can't have Devastator being as big as Soundwave. It's just one of them things that you can't do, and in fact that's what they did. And I suppose that's another thing that probably didn't help their cause at the end of the day. It really didn't help them with the fact that you could do that, and again that they were all the sort of same size. But again, remember guys, these were play sets, so these I suppose were the the English or the European versions of the play sets. That Japan was using Micromasters at this particular time. If you remember, 1990 was the start of Zone. And of course then we went into loads of Micromaster sets. So yeah, 1990 we had Atlas, which again they were using Micromasters for the play sets, whereas Hasbro in the European markets were using Action Masters, which you can see. And again, not too bad, quite a bit of fun. That is the main jet there. I do just want to very quickly make sure there's nothing else that I've missed. I don't believe I have, but what I am going to do, of course, is just take him back now to the main jet. And again, this is quite impressive, and that's the way that I actually have him displayed on my shelves. Very quickly, I've been saying for ages, because I've been reviewing these for quite some time, that these are the this generation's Action Master. And look at that for size, they're pretty much exactly the same. Ironically enough, though, of course, the blockies have more articulation due to the fact that, yes, they're newer, but I would say, and I've been saying for ages, that these are this generation's Action Masters. I'm sure you can agree with that now you've seen them next to each other. Right, let's build it back up then. So the way to build it back up is, let's take off all of these that we don't want or need. Let's have a quick look here. There's some stickers there, so that is something to be aware of. Some of the stickers on the front, again, are something to be aware of. And again, you can play around with this, guys. It is a play set. You can put things wherever you want. You don't have to have them on there. You could just have the two at the front and still have the drone if you wanted to. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could have this lifted up. Once you've disconnected that from there, it's just tabbed in there. You could have it like a blast shield if you wanted to. You can maneuver this there. You could have him standing behind. Let's see if he works, actually. Near enough, yeah, there you go. You can stand behind, and you could be using that as a mounted cannon with a blast shield, etc. So many different things you can do. So much fun in them. So, of course, we're going to spin that around. That will line into place. We're going to collapse this inside, and then very carefully collapse this over. See your two tabs? That's going to collapse into there, like so. Everything's going there. Took these out of the way. I didn't have the landing gear down on the last time, but that's because, as I say, it was just ready to take everything off. Make sure that's clipped in. Let's attach the seat here. That is going to fit into there. There we go. The tank obviously now comes back. I've took the gun off anyway. The tank does have rolling wheels, by the way, but of course not the treads there. They perhaps could have done a little bit more with the details on that. And let's fit this in. Yep, that's in, and that is, as you've seen, very sturdy indeed. We've now got these wings, which again, you didn't even have to have these wings Maybe that could be used as a toboggan as well, or something else. It could be, look, you could fit him in there, you could have him flying around. Again, I'm just going completely off the cuff here because there's so much you can do. That's going to fit into there like so. Is it going to click? I'm sure it clicks. I'm sure it clicks. There we go. Again, I didn't want to put too much pressure, too much force on it. So the wings are what I should have done. My bad. I'm gonna have to be very careful taking this off. So of course this is the tail or the back. I'm not too sure what they're called on planes. I granted my aviation knowledge isn't the greatest. Right, that's gonna go there. That's now gonna fit in like so. The double cannon again, I think goes on there. And then in fact, we're gonna load up everything underneath. So you've got these at the front, which fit into one of them like so. That's gonna fit into there. Then we've got these going off any one here. And I've checked as well, guys, these aren't compatible with any of today's blast effects. Unfortunately, as you can see, they're just that little bit too big. Yeah, I think, as I say, that's once I've popped all these on, I don't really think there's anything that I've missed. If I have, do let me know. And of course, I will correct myself. But I think that's pretty much it. Again, if you wanted to, you can still have all the people which you saw like on the battle mode. You can put all them into position as well, so I can sit him in there, and of course I could sit the people on the wings as well. In fact, I could also probably attach some of the weapons and gun attachments. Let me have a quick look, I'll show you what I mean. If I wanted to, yeah, there you go. You could even put them on there as well, so give it a completely different look. It's entirely up to you. I suppose the most important thing with this is that even if it is missing every single one of these missiles, it will still display pretty well on a shelf. But there you go, guys. Also keep an eye out for corrosion, because again, it is a vintage figure. But I'm pretty sure, as I say, that is all there is to say about this guy. It is fun, yes, okay. It's, you know, the transforming aspect of it might not be too to everybody's taste. I didn't bring in him just to give you an idea of how big he is compared to it. But yeah, this is a giant figure, and again, came out in 1990 as part of the last wave of the Hasbro figures. There you go, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Take care.